Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the whatever number Middleham Park pub quiz this is. 7, maybe, I'd guess. Randomly shouting pain. Sprout is currently in the process of attacking my toes, so I will try and ask him to politely clear off. Good to see we've got so many people already in the chat. Just managed to get the chat to freeze. Now, who we got? We got Dilith, Nath, Russell, Audrey, Graham, Chris, Trevor, Dave Botton, hi there, Trevor Edwards, Tony, Dunk Smith, Sharon, Dean, Alan, Ben. Good to see so many familiar names here. Yeah, by all means, just have a little comment in the chat to each other. Judy, Lewis, hi. Good to see quite a lot of irregulars are here once again. Now, I'm very aware we have Killing Eve at 9:15. Obviously, it is on iPlayer, so don't fear if we do slightly go a little bit too late. Pete Jones, David Goff, welcome all again. The beverage of choice this evening, a nice cricket-related wine, the Night Watchman. Never had it before. Give it a little go and see how it is. Missing Euro 96 apparently, so sorry about that. Hopefully we won't make up for it. There is a football question. What's happened this week? Well, it's slightly changed from where we were a little bit back end of last week, weren't we, with regards to when racing's going to begin. Obviously, Boris has, I want to say, clarified things a little bit, but maybe not. Anyway, we're kind of here, hopefully getting going on what appears to be the 1st of June with a few, sort of the first week. We're going to be quite a few priority races, and then we will look at hopefully kicking on a little bit more once we've tested the waters rather than just jumping straight into the deep end. We've tested the waters a little bit. Who else we got in here? We've got the Dykes clan. They're here. Diane, Jeff, Lydia, et al. Gary Kennedy, evening all. If I've missed you, nothing personal. Yeah, so hopefully racing's up and going in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, many people will have lots of updates there for their horses, knowing just where we are. Quite a few ready to, well, pretty much most of it. String is really ready and raring to go as soon as racing starts up again. Looking forward to basically just seeing some. Obviously, we've had the French racing this week. That's been a little aperitif, if you like, just whets the appetite for when we get our season back underway. I don't think there's too much more to shed light on the racing side of things. If we get any developments, we will of course pass them on to owners, etc. Now, with regards to the quiz this week, as I say, it's a bumper edition. I don't think there's too many more questions than we normally have. There's just quite a few multiple answer questions, if you like. The rounds, as tweeted earlier in the week, general knowledge, Blockbuster. We can't get rid of the old Blockbuster, can we? Everybody seems to love that and do so well there. I've tried those out on Emily this week, and she does say they're quite easy. So hopefully you'll all be doing too well in there. Hopefully you won't be doing too well and get one or two wrong, really. Political Eurovision is the guest round this week. It's a bit of a mashup. Hopefully it's not steered you in one direction or the other. What it is it's a mashup of politics and Eurovision. I kind of have made them a bit of a hybrid, given that Eurovision has gone so political of late. Everybody voting for each other's neighbours, etc., etc. So a little bit of politics in there. We don't really have too many political questions, and as I say, there's some Eurovision there as well. I think that's out of 15, 14 questions. Approximately 7 on each subject. And then good old sport round to finish things off. So as I say, it's out of 70 in total, including your picture round. Hopefully you've got the pictures there in your email that you've probably got to access this link. I think most people kind of know the routine by now, don't they? We kind of blab for about 5 minutes, and everybody kind of joins us about at 8:05. But as I say, it's great to see so many people here. Hope you've all been keeping well and safe. Hopefully the slight changes that you've had in your daily routine, if you've had any, since the slight easing of lockdown, haven't had too much variation on your lives. I will apologise now if I start getting some words muddled. I've been doing it all afternoon. I went for my first ever 10K this afternoon, and I'm a little bit tired from that. So I promise it's not the wine. It's not the one beer I've had through to now. I have been getting him a little bit wrong. A bit jumbled up. Oh, it's good to see Sprouts in the chat, which is weird considering he's just sat over there. But never mind. Right, I think what we will do is we will probably, since we've got 70 points to be giving away, kick on. One other quick shout out as well is a big thank you to everybody who has fed back to us on the Breezer horse, the United Funder that we've punted to people. So a big thank you to you who've fed back on that. You're kept nicely up to date on what's going on there. So I think we're around 109 families involved. As I always say, please do send us some pictures. Please do send us some pictures of you and your family enjoying, tolerating rather, this quiz. And yeah, look, without further ado, let's get on. Stop waffling, Tom. Let's crack on. So eyes down for a full house. Round 1, general knowledge, question 1. Gwen Stefani has had a successful solo career with hits such as Hollaback Girl and The Sweet Escape, but she came to fame as the lead singer in which band? They had hits with Just a Girl and Don't Speak. Gwen Stefani has had a successful solo career with certain hits, but she came to fame as the lead singer in which band? What was the band? Glad to have Sarah on board again, who's going to post the questions in the chat. So if it's dropped out, if your stream's dropped out for some reason or you've just missed it, the questions will be in the chat there. So I won't be repeating, just scroll up in the chat and they will all be in there. The one piece of housekeeping I do normally forget is please don't pop your answers in the chat. Please just pop them on a piece of paper and we'll mark them at the end of each round. So please just keep your answers. Just keep your answers on a piece of paper. Answers on a postcard, please. Right. Question 2. What is the fastest animal in the world? It's not Britney Spears. What is the fastest animal in the world? I know many of you are dying to say your horse that you've got with us. You probably won't be far away. What is the fastest animal in the world? Question number 3. How many herbs and spices are used in the Colonel's secret recipe? How many herbs and spices are used in the Colonel's secret recipe? It's finger licking good, isn't it? Hi, Dave. Better late than never, though. How many herbs and spices are used in the Colonel's secret recipe? If you don't know, just hazard a guess. Just hazard a guess. Pluck a number. See what I've done there? Pluck a number. Question number 4. It's your first of your multiple answer questions. Name the 3 mountains involved in the national 3 Peak Challenge. A point for each. Name the mountains involved in the national 3 Peak Challenge. Obviously, that national word is quite important. There's many variations of the 3 Peak Challenge, but it's the national ones we're after. So name the mountains involved in the national 3 Peak Challenge. Point for each. 111 streams, 111 families watching this. Great to have you all on board. As I say, I'll try and rattle through a few of these questions. Whopping 70 points on offer. I'm not sure if it's hard quiz, easy quiz. I think it's a little bit middling. There's a few easy questions in there. Probably a few tricky ones as well. But as the saying goes, they're only easy if you know the answers. Question 5. I'm going to give you a multiple choice 1. Multiple choice question. While we're searching for a vaccine for COVID-19, the first successful vaccine was introduced by Edward Jenner in 1796. What disease did it guard against? Was it A, smallpox, B, polio, or C, tuberculosis? The first successful vaccine was introduced by Edward Jenner, no relation to Caitlin or any of them, I don't believe, in 1796. Which disease did it guard against? A, smallpox, B, polio, C, tuberculosis. A, smallpox, B, polio, C, tuberculosis. Emily's currently trying to keep Sprout sweet so he's not attacking us or making noise. And he's loving it. Okay, question number 6. Your weekly slogan question. Just do it is a slogan for which brand? Just do it is a slogan for which brand? I don't think it's Durex. Well, could be adopted. Question number 7. Which nuts are used in marzipan? Which nuts are used in marzipan? His tail is not wagging yet, Lewis. You off up? Are you staying with us? He's undecided. Question number 8. How many years does a silver wedding anniversary celebrate? How many years does a silver wedding anniversary celebrate? He's gone, by the way. He's just nipped upstairs now. Means my toes can breathe a sigh of relief. Not that my toes breathe. We're not that bad up here. How many years does a silver wedding anniversary celebrate? Question number 9, a 4-pointer. A bit of a tricky one, this actually. Probably one of the trickier questions on the quiz, I must say. In the 1990 to 1995 BBC sitcom Keeping Up Appearances, Mrs. Bucket, pronounced Bouquet, is one of 4 sisters. Name them all, a point for each. There is a theme. They all share a common theme. The British sitcom Keeping Up Appearances, Mrs. Bucket, pronounced Bouquet, is one of 4 sisters. Name them all. The clue is all their names share a common theme. Bloody good show. She reminds me very much of my grandma Palin, really. Absolutely the definition of my dad's mum was this particular character. I was trying to frame up a question around the character in questions. Famous candlelight suppers. Quite a celebrity in the town, don't you know? But no, I couldn't quite think of a question, so I thought this one was quite good. And you can see we're already getting a bit out of hand on the old multiple answer questions. Just giving away points, giving away points. And finally, obviously, you get a bit of time to come back to that. If you wanted to, just on the tip of your tongue, you still got a bit of time between, well, now and obviously when we mark that particular question to pop down an answer or two. And finally, question 10. Which piece of paper is sized 210 by 297 millimeters? Which piece of paper, or what size of paper, is 210 mil by 297 mil. Absolutely, Jeff. Obviously, I was going to say pleasure, misfortune, somewhere in the middle of meeting Lillian. Yeah, it's absolutely, wasn't it? Absolutely Lillian in a nutshell. I'm sure it'll come to you, Scott. Okay. If you've missed any other questions, all of those should be in the chat there. Just have a little scroll up, and I'm sure you will find what you're looking for. I'll just give you another quick second there to complete any questions there that you've not quite finished. Obviously, one or two multiple answer questions in there. It's quite nice. It's not probably as nice as that 19 crowns that I had last week. That was a lovely drop. Still not sponsored by them. If anybody wants to sponsor the Middleham Park pub quiz featuring or sponsored by, more than happy to take a couple of bottles off your hand. Anyway, question number 1, your answers for the general knowledge round. Gwen Stefani has had a successful solo career with hits like Hollaback Girl and The Sweet Escape. Over a few people's heads, but she came to fame as the lead singer in which band? Who had hits with Just a Girl and Don't Speak? The band was No Doubt. She was the lead singer of the band No Doubt. I'm sure many of you are in no doubt as to the answer there. Question number 2. What is the fastest animal in the world? A cheetah. It's not Britney Spears. It's a cheetah. Can reach speeds of up to 75 miles an hour. I potentially should have specified and said land animal. You could be correct. No, Antonio, it's the same glass every week. Size can be deceiving. But cheetah was the one we're after. 75 miles an hour they can reach. I'm still learning about this quizzing thing. Sorry. I probably should have specified. It's a point off me if I've not specified enough there. It was cheetah we were looking for, 75 mile an hour, or pretty much every Middleham Park horse has a similar top speed to that. How many herbs and spices are used in the Colonel's secret recipe? It's 11. 11 secret herbs and spices. I think they're out on Reddit or something, aren't they? But it's a secret way they blend them. Your first of the multiple answer questions. Name of the mountains involved in the National Free Peak Challenge. Obviously, it's not the Yorkshire Free Peak. It's the national one, a point for each. So, Ben Nevis, Scotland, Scafell Pike, England, and Snowdon is Wales. The Free Peak Challenge, for those who don't know of a National Free Peak Challenge, is you've got to climb, ascend and descend all 3 of those mountains in the space of 24 hours. We did it at university. For NSPCC. Raised grand and a half or a couple of grand or something, I think it was. Great experience. Bloody tiring. I think it's about 26 miles you're climbing up and down. Scafell's the hardest, despite I think it's the smallest, but it's the most vertical or the fastest ascending one, and you do it in the dark of night. I think because I didn't specify, there's a few people who've kind of come up with another fastest animal. I'm generous. Go on, you can have that as well. You can have that if you've got the thingamabob. I've just lost the answer there. Peregrini falcon. You can have that as well if you got that. That's my fault. Question number 5. Whilst researching for a vaccine for COVID-19, the first successful vaccine was introduced by Edward Jenner in 1796. Which disease did it guard against? Smallpox, polio, or tuberculosis? It was smallpox that it guarded you against. Question number 6. Just Do It is a slogan for which brand? That's Nike. That's Nike. Which nuts are used in marzipan? Almonds. Very distinct taste. Obviously, marzipan is probably most commonly associated with being wrapped around a Battenberg, which is a delightful little cake. Question number 8. How many years does a silver wedding anniversary celebrate? 25 years is a silver wedding anniversary. The keeping up appearances, Mrs. Bouquet, pronounced Mrs. Bucket, pronounced Bouquet, is one of 4 sisters. Name them. They all share a common theme. Well, the theme was they're all flowers. So Mrs. Bouquet was Hyacinth, or is Hyacinth. Then there's Rose, Daisy, and Violet. Now, you don't tend to see too much of Violet. I think she's only in 4 episodes, but Daisy and Rose, they're there quite a lot. I think Daisy's one who's married to the bookie. I could be wrong. So yeah, Hyacinth, Rose, Daisy, and Violet, a point for each. So if you only got 1 point, 2 points, blah 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 blah. And finally, in that round, which size paper is 210 by 297 millimeters? That's your good old boring A4 piece of paper. Now that is out of 15. So if you want to just comment in the chat how you got on, how many did you get out of that 15 there? I would probably say it was a little bit of a thereabouts round, wasn't it? I would say out of 15, if you got, I think 10. Let's say 10. I think if you got 10, you've done well. Oh, lots of 15s. Surprised Lydia knew keeping up appearances. She probably wasn't even born when that went off air. I was being told it was going to be a tricky quiz. Now, lots of good scores, 11s, 12s. As I say, I think that was quite niche, a few of those questions. So if you manage, as I say, if you manage to get more than 10, I think you've done jolly well. No, lots of brilliant scores. Was it Violet who was married to a bookie? Was it Onslow Daisy was married to? Then was that right? Anyway, that's your general knowledge round. Still some good scores. That'll be why. Sprout got 14. Fair play, Sprout. Well done. Considering you missed half the questions. Oh, Dave, come on. Rookie error. Right, well, that completes your general knowledge round. So we will move on to the old tried and tested Blockbuster round. So this is obviously out of 10. If during this round you want to let us know what you're supping this evening, what your beverage of choice is, I appreciate many people might be going back into work tomorrow or still working from home, whatever. But any excuse just for 1 or 2, you can surely have 1 or 2 before bed tonight. So let us know what you're drinking in the chat, and we will get our eyes down. Question number 1. Well, for those who haven't played Blockbuster before, it should become quite apparent. What I'll do is I'll give you the first letter of the answer as well as a clue. It should become quite obvious. The example I normally use is, what M did Michael Bell use to train to win the Epsom Derby? That was motivator. So what M did Michael Bell train to win the Derby? Motivator. That's hopefully a good example. So question 1. What C in pool and snooker is a substance that you put on the end of your cue? What C in pool and snooker is a substance that you put on the end of your cue? I appreciate Q could have been the answer in a slightly different worded question with the same letter. Lager, San Miguel, G&T's, Club Ultra. Is that really light beer that is advertised? Yorkshire tea, strong, standard, like it. King of beers, that's Budweiser. That's going back, that isn't it? King of beers. That was round 2. That was week 2, probably. Well remembered. Some nice Merlot. Well done. Good effort. Anyway, question 2. I'll read some more drinks out after this. What R is a hard biscuit eaten by a baby when teething? What R is a hard biscuit eaten by a baby when teething? Sure, many of us have had these at some stage. Only 79 calories. You see, that's why I've switched to wine. I think it's only about 700 calories a bottle. Obviously, it slightly varies depending on the alcohol content, of course, but it's a bit better than sort of 10 or so beers, or whatever. Like, I can drink 10 beers. My mates probably all laughing at me now. 10 beers, you, Baz? Yeah, next joke, mate. You can get through 10 if you sup them steady enough. Question number 3. What G is an illness known as a rich man's curse? What G is an illness known as a rich man's curse? You're right, Scott. It absolutely is a brilliant wine. Again, if anybody from 19 Grams is watching, more than happy to take a case off your hand. And as Mr. Layfield rightly pointed out, if you're playing, Graham, rightly pointed out last week, 19 crimes is a number that you number of crimes that you could commit that would get you sent over to Australia or sent down to Australia. Whereas now all you got to do is own a racehorse good enough to run in the cup. There's a nice article on said horse on Sporting Life at the races today about Raymond Tusk. If anybody's not seen that, have a little look. It kind of outlines a little plan for him for the foreseeable. Question number 4. What D is 10 cents in US money? What D is 10 cents in US money? Oh, Prosecco. Very nice, Russell. German Pilsner, I'm assuming that's because the Bundesliga was back. Hopefully you weren't all too underwhelmed. It's just good to have some live sport to watch, isn't it? Question number 5. What S is a speech in a play spoken by an actor to themselves? What S is a speech in a play spoken by an actor to themselves? It's a great word. It's a great word. I won't be able to pronounce it, obviously, but it's a great word. Question number 6. What P is the colourful part of a flower? What P is the colourful part of a flower? That's just cloudy lemon. Not had that. Yeah, spelling. If you've got the previous one, spelling could be a little bit of an issue. I'm dyslexic, so I'm not going to be able to pick you up if you're right or you're wrong. You spell it however you want to, so long as you've got the general gist of it. Question number 7. What G is a rock that has been in British hands since 1704? What G is a rock that has been in British hands since 1704? Was it really? If that speech question was on Millionaire, those who were here for last week will know that quite a lot of my questions were usurped, were stolen, cruelly stolen, which is why I made a point of telling everybody when I'd finished the quiz, when I started the quiz on Twitter. So if they have stolen them, it's on them, not me. I've not just picked it up from Millionaire or something. Question number 8. What P is a game that uses the terms backhander, hooking, and chucker? What P is a game that uses the terms backhander, hooking, and chucker? Maybe I'm just sat a bit closer to the camera. That's why the glass looks a bit bigger. But a heron cider, 20 litres. That's about one sitting, isn't it? Millionaire's over. I'm fine. Good. I think Celebrity Mastermind took a question or two as well. It's ironic. It was a question last week as well. Number 9. What P is the European country that produces most of the world's cork? What P is the European country that produces most of the world's cork? Ironically, I've got a screw top bottle. Yeah, the cider. It was a good little interaction on Twitter, wasn't there, Jamie? Earlier in the week, I think Paul Kearley from the Racing Post got involved. Was talking through general what good ciders are out there. Quite a lot. Hopefully, it makes a bit of resurgence. Cider is a very underrated alcoholic beverage. It's my usual when I go in the pub. Miss a pub. 50 odd days without that now. Anyway, finally, your last question in the Blockbuster round. What L is a part of the year where you traditionally wear an earring? What L is a part of the year where you traditionally wear an earring? Yeah, we do all miss the pub. Let's have a quick drink for the pub. Of course, you don't miss me in the middle, though. Thanks, James. It's nice to know. So that's your Blockbuster round. Traditionally, people do quite well here. So let's hope that continues. The answers. Question 1 of your Blockbuster. What C in pool and snooker is the substance that you put on the end of a cue? It's chalk. You chalk the end of a cue. Question 2. What R is a hard biscuit eaten by a baby when teething? They also sometimes use it in sausages. It's rusk. Rusk. By all accounts, I used to love rusk when I was a kid. I can't say I've had one very recently. But rusks. Question 3. What G is an illness known as a rich man's curse? I think actually red wine's supposed to contribute to it. It's gout. What is it? Red meats, red wines. Yeah, rich man's, isn't it? Dated a bit. What's this from Sarah here? Handy hint of a week. There's a £1 off 19 grams in Sainsbury's. Jeez. Oh, that's there. Some London shopping in Sainsbury's. Don't have too many around here. What D is 10 cents in US money? That's a dime. Dime is 10 cents. What S is a speech in a play spoken by an actor to themselves? That's a soliloquy. As I said, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. It's a soliloquy. Great word to, once you do, say it and get it out of your tongue, if you like. Soliloquy. As I said, I'm not going to be too stingy on spelling if you got it right. You got a general gist of it. Well done. What P is a colourful part of a flower? That's a petal. The petal is a colourful part. It attracts the insects or bees to pollinate. What G is a rock that has been in British hands since 1704? I think Alex Ferguson owned this horse, didn't he? It was a Rock of Gibraltar. So Gibraltar was a rock which British islands have had. I won't go on too much of a rant, and it's not really my place to maybe say too much, but that's Gibraltar is possibly where a lot of the lesson prize money in racing that's responsible for it. Read into that what you will. What P is a game that uses the terms backhander, hooking, and chucker? That's polo. So it's kind of 2 horse racing questions there. Polo, not horse racing questions per se, but horse-ish related, I think. What P is a European country that produces most of the world's cork? Portugal. I didn't realise that until in a week. It's something that I've learned this week. If there's something I've learned this week, it's that Portugal produces the world's most cork. Didn't know. I didn't know they're associated with that. I like the gins and tonics, some very long late lunches, but yeah, produce a lot of cork. And finally, what L is a part of the ear where you traditionally wear an earring? That's the lobe, the ear lobe. I do have that one pierced. I've not had anything. Not an earring in it for a while, but no, I don't have that one. But the lobe is is where you get it traditionally pierced to wear earrings. So out of 10, your Blockbuster round, how many did you get? Pop them in the chat, pop your scores. I don't really know anymore. A lot of people do very well on Blockbuster, so I'm going to set a high score. I think if you've got more than 8, you've done well. So the chat just slightly lagged out a little bit there. Ten out of 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 10, Full House, 10, 7. Right, I'm going to make a Blockbuster absolutely diabolical next week. Nah. Obviously, well reminded there, everybody, and what you've got out of the total so far out of 25. It should be out of 21 so far, 21s, 23s. I was told this was a tricky old quiz. I suppose we've got the guest round next. That's probably what it's probably going to separate the. Well, I can't say men from boys anymore, can I? It's going to be person from person, I guess. 21s, 23s, 21s, 22s. For Smith Clan, hello. Johnny Fox is back. He's back to form. If you like, on his Facebook, he's back to form this week. Wheat from chaff. Yeah, that's far more PC. Wheat from chaff. I like that. Yeah, separate that. Good scores all around. Well done, everybody. It's going to charge me glass before this. It's a big round. 14 questions. It's going to take something to take a bit of time to get through. See, I've been very, very careful so far. Now the right clan, they'll appreciate this. I'm no sommelier, am I, or anything? I know 2 kinds of wine, red and white. And if you mix them, you get that other one. Right, okay, on to political Eurovision. So, as I say, it's a little bit political and a little bit Eurovision orientated. Obviously, Eurovision, or not obviously, but Eurovision was scheduled to be yesterday. Particular highlight of ours, nobody more so, arguably, than Johnny Fox. I think he's been to 3 or 4 of the Eurovisions. It's probably on my bucket list actually to do is go. So if you're going next year, Johnny, by all means extend an invite. I'd love to go. It's been something our family's watched for years. I would say much more when I started watching it. But yeah, we love a bit of Eurovision. And you either love it or you hate it. I think it's one of them. Everybody says at the end of each year, don't they? I'm not going to watch it again. It's bloody fast. It's politics now. Everybody voting for their neighbours. And then without a doubt, every May you're there. So yeah, right. It's slight political and slight Eurovision. I thought they'd be a nice hybrid this time. Right. So eyes down. Question. Oh, sorry. How many is it out of, Tom? It's out of 15 again. This one. It's out of 15. So your political Eurovision number 1. Question 1. What was the name given to the Russian emperors prior to 1917? What was the name given to Russian emperors prior to 1917? Now, there's 3 spellings that I will accept for this. Yeah, three spellings. But what name was given to Russian emperors prior to 1917? Fancy dressed is don't you worry about that. Don't know if anybody's seen much of the competitors this year or the entries. Norway, I think it was Norway's. Is it the guy with the long hair? Is he Norway or Iceland? Anyway, I thought they were winners. I can't remember now. Is it Norway or Iceland? Johnny will set me straight there. Question number 2. You might notice that they kind of alternate. Question number 2. Who was the last United Kingdom winner of Eurovision? Who was the last United Kingdom winner of Eurovision? Iceland. Norway was a lady. Yeah, Iceland. Brilliant song. Didn't take itself too seriously as well, which is always a must for Eurovision. Who was the last United Kingdom winner of Eurovision? Just the artist. Just the artist, please. Very nearly won it the following year. Just checking, I'm not giving away anything. Yeah, very nearly won it the following year as well. I think they came runner up the year after. Anyway, question number 3. What is the official country residence of a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? What is the official country residence of a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Obviously, that's not this current. Well, it is this current, but it's also the same place for prior Prime Ministers as well. Everyone's got long hair now. Well, not necessarily. There's only really 2 hairstyles. It's either long or the COVID cut, isn't it? You get some very tall jockeys, don't you? Aidan Coleman's taller than me. But yeah, 6'9" is what he is. Jesus. He's in the wrong game and he should be a basketballer. What was the question from last week of how high was the NBA hoop? 10 feet. Question number 4. What is an alcoholic beverage that shares its name with a Eurovision winner? What is an alcoholic beverage that shares its name with a Eurovision winner? I keep thinking I want to give a clue, but I think that one's okay. I think you should be all right with that one. If you weren't dragged up on Eurovision, you might slightly struggle with that one. I'm thinking about it. But if you've ever watched any form of Eurovision recap, yeah, probably bob on. Where are we? There we go. Question number 5. Name the Prime Minister who returned from meeting Hitler in September 1938 to announce peace for our time. Name the Prime Minister who returned from meeting Hitler in September 1938 to announce peace for our time. Who was that Prime Minister who proclaimed that? I think we've done quite well to get sort of 7 or 8 weeks through without mentioning Hitler, I guess. Not because he's an idol of mine, no. Just he's quite an interesting bloke, isn't he? And you can angle quite a lot of questions towards Hitler and him and his regime and his views. Anyway, question number 6. Which nation is the most successful in Eurovision history? Which nation is the most successful in Eurovision history? Well, I don't know. Will it surprise you? It might surprise you if you don't know. You might think, probably not them, but yeah. Most successful nation. You see, I'm not going to obviously sing that, but I said that to Emily. Oh, never heard that little rhyme that you're probably thinking of there, Mr. Brownlow. So what nation was the most successful in European history? There's quite a lot of text here, so that's why it's just sometimes tricky to find the question. Question 7. What day are all general elections held in the UK? On what day are all general elections held in the UK? As I say, we've still got 110 streams live, so it's 113 families on board. Great to have everybody here. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much this fine Sunday evening. The weather's supposed to be quite nice next week, isn't it? Around about 20s again. Question number 8. In 1974, Sweden won Eurovision with a song that later went on to be voted the best song of the first 50 years of Eurovision. But what was the song? In 1974, Sweden won the Eurovision Song Contest with a song that later went on to be voted the best song of the first 50 years of Eurovision. What was the song? Trying to keep quiet. I'm not sure there's too many clues. Question number 9. What was the last year that 2 elections were held in the same year? What was the last year or the last time that 2 elections were held in the same year? What year was that? That's general elections. What was the last year that 2 elections were held in the same year? Maybe not phrased that great if it pops in the chat as it is written on my quiz. Did we really give it nil points? Oh, got political back then and all, didn't it? Probably took our IKEA away. Question 10. Who was the voice of Eurovision for the BBC from 1980 to 2008, and who took over from him? It's a point for each, so it's a 2-point answer. Who was the voice of Eurovision for the BBC from 1980 to 2008, and who then took over from him? I appreciate that the first name did do it a little bit sporadically on the radio as well, but prior to them, but that was their main television run, if you like, and then who took over from the first person? With clue, well, clue, he is a he. And who took over? 2 points. 2 points. Point per person. Question number 11. It's a multiple choice question. What year was the Good Friday Agreement signed? Was it A, 1996, B, 1997, or C, 1998? A, 96, B, 97, C, 98. What year was the Good Friday Agreement signed? What was it signed? So obviously it was brought in to effect the following year. But what year was it signed? Probably until Brexit, really. It's arguably one of the more high-profile, biggest pieces of documentation and legislation that has been signed in recent time. Certainly with relation to our country, anyway. Our country, the nations involved, obviously. 12. Conchita Wurst caused a bit of controversy when winning the 2014 Eurovision. But why? Conchita Wurst caused a bit of controversy when winning the 2014 Eurovision. But why? I don't think we've kind of had that kind of slightly more long-winded, over to you, write an essay answer style question before. Interesting to see how that goes down. Still struggling to believe that's 2014. Question 13. Oh, I'm proud of this question. I'm proud of this one. As soon as I wrote this, I had to run upstairs and tell Emily about it. Right. The symbol Fe and the atomic number 26 is significant to which British Prime Minister? The symbol Fe and the atomic number 26 is significant to which British Prime Minister? Very giddy when I thought of that question. That is. And finally, question 14. What is a maximum length of a Eurovision song? It cannot be any longer than this. What is a maximum length of a Eurovision song? So in theory, we should be 7 and 7. I'm not sure the points are allocated equally, obviously, given it's 15. Yeah, there's your political Eurovision round. If you've missed a question in the chat, should be. Just give you a quick moment to conflab, and we'll go through the answers. Oh, a lot of Eurovision haters. Careful, please. Proud Eurovision family. We did used to write our own score sheets out as well. Like, just get a piece of A4 paper. We all know the diameters of an A4 piece of paper now. And yeah, we used to put all the countries, all 21 countries or whatever it was taking part, and rank them, give them a score out of 10, and then add them all up. Whichever one of the out of all of the 4 palings got it correct, got the highest 3, we'd vote for them. That's how we used to do ours. So there's no political, none of this. Let's vote for whoever. We did it fairly. The best song won. Anyway, question 1. What was the name given to Russian emperors prior to 1917? That's a Tsar. Pronounced Tsar. So the 3 spellings we'd accept are Tsar, Tzar, or Czar. Obviously not the sire or the broodmare sire. Tsar, Xaar. Not that one. So Tsar is what we're looking for. I'm not going to be too picky on the spelling, but some people spell it different ways. If you've got a general gist of it, it's a Tsar for 1 point. Question 2. Who was the last United Kingdom winner of Eurovision? Katrina and the Waves with Love Shine a Light in 1997. Brilliant song. Still listen to it. It was I can let on now. There was something on TV there yesterday in the place of the Eurovision, and they did it was about an hour before anyway, and they did some of the biggest hits of it. So there's quite a bit of revision going on there, as Trevor Edwards has alluded to in the chat there. You could have done some big revision there. No point for both. I don't think. Well, no point for both. It was just the artists we were after. I could have obviously gone for the song as well, but Katrina and the Waves, Love Shine a Light, 97. As I say, I think the following year, which was held in Birmingham, hosted by an answer to one of our later questions, I think they came second, didn't they? Came runner up. So Katrina and the Waves, Love Shine a Light, nearly sang. I say sang. Anyway, question 3. What is the official country residence of a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Chequers. It has been since 1921, the official country residence. Whether they stay there or they don't, it's still, as they kind of technically get 10 Downing Street, they also get that with that with it. Question number 4. What is an alcoholic beverage that shares its name with a Eurovision winner? Bucks Fizz. Making your mind up, wasn't it? One where the skirts off. Oh goodness, one of them went on to be quite famous, didn't they? Was it Cheryl? I think. Yeah, Bucks Fizz. Normally have it around Christmas morning. 6, 7 o'clock Christmas morning. Crack out the Bucks Fizz. Bit of a bubbly. Question number 5. Name a prime minister who returned from meeting Hitler in September 1938 to announce peace for our time. Neville Chamberlain did that. It was a Munich agreement that they had supposedly signed and talked about. It was a Munich agreement, which obviously went on to be rather rudely broken. Question 6. What nation is the most successful in Eurovision history? Ireland with 7. Jedward didn't help that, but it was Ireland with 7. I think we're around second, but Ireland, yeah. Question number 7. What day are all general elections held in the UK? They're held on a Thursday. A bit of background on why I wanted to look into that, given we're always held on a Thursday, but I'm never quite sure why. But it goes back to the Levellers, who proposed that all elections be held on the first Thursday in every second of March. That was from the Agreement of the People in 1647. So it goes back to the Levellers. They proposed that all elections be held on the first Thursday in every second March in the Agreement of the People in 1647. So it kind of has just carried on from there. Just tradition really dictates when it's Thursday. Or Britain, really, isn't it? Question number 8. In 1974, Sweden won the Eurovision Song Contest with a song that later went on to be voted best song of the first 50 years of Eurovision. And on said show that was on last night, they actually voted it again. The public, anyway, voted it the best song ever from Eurovision. But obviously, this quiz was written before that. But what was the song? It was Waterloo. Of course it was, by ABBA. Now, I posed this question to our family group chat, and feel free to comment in the chat as well. Is that because they went on to be ABBA that it was a great song? Or was it just the greatest song? For me, I think there's a lot of ABBA about it, you know. I think it's the ABBA factor that they went on to be ABBA. For me, there's better songs. There's better songs out there, but everything's subjective, isn't it? I don't even think. Let me put it this way: I don't even think Waterloo is ABBA's best song. It's probably not even in the top 3 of their best songs. Yet it's the best song in Eurovision history. Over to you to discuss. Over to you to discuss. Settle it in the chat. Question 9. What was the last year that 2 elections were held in the same year? That also was 1974. I was trying to catch a few people out there. 1974. Labour had a minority government, but went back to polls in October and won a 3-seat majority, so it worked. According to my sources, anyway. Obviously, it's a little bit before my time, 1974. Merely a twinkle. Yeah, a few people saying it was a great song. A few people going, no, it wasn't. Anyway, moving on. That's probably one that'll linger for the week. Who was the voice of Eurovision? 2.0, obviously, this. Who was the voice of Eurovision from 1980 to 2008, and who took over from him? Well, 1980 to 2008 was, of course, the late, great Sir Terry Wogan. And then he was replaced. You can't replace Sir Terry. But Graham Norton took over. So Sir Terry Wogan and Graham Norton were the 2 answers. So point for each. Question number 11. What year was the Good Friday Agreement signed? It was signed in 1998, April the 10th to be precise, but it didn't come in effect until the 2nd of December 1999. So 1998 C is what we're after. Conchita Wurst was caused a bit of controversy when winning the 2014 Eurovision, but why? Well, Conchita Wurst was born Thomas Neuwirth, and he was performing in drag. If you remember, he had the beard, but he was performing very much in drag. Most of the negativity came from the Eastern European countries. They won it. He won it with. They won it with Rise Like a Phoenix, I think. But in my extensive research for this quiz, I was listening to a couple of others of previous winners. I've actually listened to every winner this week of the Eurovision. That's how sad I am. but it put me on to Conchita Wurst's other songs. I'd recommend you listen to "Put the Fire Out." That's better. That is better than the Eurovision song. Have a listen to that. The Bearded Lady, if you like. Yes. So have a listen to "Put the Fire Out." That is a good song. Just a good song. End of. My favourite question. The symbol Fe and the atomic number 26 is significant to which British Prime Minister? Margaret Thatcher, because Fe is the chemical symbol of iron, and she was the Iron Lady. So Margaret Thatcher, I was really proud of that. It could just be an absolutely abysmal question, but I was particularly proud of that one, the Iron Lady. And finally, what is the maximum length of a Eurovision song? No, not too long. It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You can't go over, not a second over. So that's out of 15, I make it. How did you all get on in the political Eurovision guest round for this week? Given that it's politics in Eurovision, out of 15, if Eurovision's not your thing, if Eurovision's not your thing, let's give 2 scores. If Eurovision's not your thing, I think 8. If Eurovision is, you should be probably up in 11 or above. Lots of good scores. I thought that was going to be a really tricky round. No, everybody's done very well. Good. And obviously, how many have you got in total? Sorry, 15. 40 should be out of by now. How many have you got out of your 40? Tony, full house. Good effort. Lewis, good score. 25 out of 40. Great score. Some of these are tricky. 34s. 25, good effort. Jamie, 38, Phil. Mark Austin, of course. You got the full house last week. Congratulations. Well done. 37s, 34s, 38s. Lots of brilliance. Got 38s there. The Andrew clan. Hello to you guys. Obviously, I appreciate there's quite a lot of people who haven't accessed the chat who are playing as well. So shout out to you lot as well. Do let us know. Send us an email. Pop in our when we pop the links up later. What score you got? 36, 40s. Great effort, everybody. It's a good 25, though. Good 25. Okay, on to, I appreciate this is going to be quite a sporting heavy quiz given the picture round as well, but we're going to go on to the sport round. The sport round's here to stay. We all share probably, or a vast majority of us all share that common interest of we are big sport lovers. Question, what I'll say about this is it is out of, I make it 20. This is a big money round. The first 2 are multiple answer ones as well, so might just take a little bit of time. So question 1 for your sport round. Great Britain have a fantastic history in the heptathlon. Denise Lewis, Jessica Ennis-Hill and Katrina Johnson-Thompson, all winning Olympic medals. But can you name the 7 events? Point for each. You probably knew that as soon as I said the word heptathlon. You probably knew what was coming. Great Britain have a fantastic history in the heptathlon. Denise Lewis, Jessica Ennis-Hill and Katrina Johnson-Thompson, all winning Olympic medals in recent time. But can you name the 7 events? There's no extra point for in the correct order. There's no point for that. Although, if you want to put them in the correct order, very, very well done you. I do have them in the correct order to provide you with the answers. Obviously, that might just take a bit of thinking about that one. So I'll try and drag this round out a little bit, but I'm very aware Killing Eve is only 11 minutes away. But as I say, it's on iPlayer, and we've all got Sky Plus now, haven't we? So we can pop it on pause until we're done with the important thing for the weekend, which is the quiz. Of course, it's a quiz. The 7 heptathlon events. Now I'm going to move on. So just pop a little note there if you've not got them all, just for 7 heptathlon events next to your answer there. And I'm sure if you work away on that for the remainder of the round, you'll get there. Question number 2 is also a multiple answer just to make your life a little bit more tricky. It's going to be a multiple answer as well. Now, famed racehorse owner Michael Owen has played for 5 teams in his senior career. Who were they? Michael Owen has played for 5 teams in his senior career. Who were they? Now, I think a lot of people will get potentially 4. If you get the 5th, fair play. The cat is doing very well, considering he's not got opposable thumbs. He does very well. But he does have 4 limbs to type away with. Well, most of us have 4 limbs anyway. So that doesn't really work, Tom. Well done. In order again, I've got them in order, Bill. You should be, given you're a super fan, and the Snapchat you sent earlier as well. You should be able to get them in order. If you get them in order, no bonus point, but again, well done if you get them all in order. So 2 absolute stinkers to start with. It wasn't actually a Billy Wright question, I must admit. It's Michael Owen, obviously famed racehorse owner. Brown Panther would obviously be his probably most high-profile horse to date. Brown Panther won a classic winner, wasn't he? He won the Irish Ledger. I was lucky enough to watch him win. I was also unfortunate enough to, I think he suffered a fatal injury when he was defending his crown, was it? Or another day when he went there. Unfortunately, I think I was there as well. But anyway, so there are your 2 multiple answers. I believe I could be one bit further down. I'm not 100%. I don't think so. No. So there are your 2 multiple answers. By all means, come back to them if you haven't quite got them. I might just be needing a bit of time to drag that information from the back of your brain. Now, one for the purists, your cricket question. Question number 3. Which cricket umpire has stood in the most test matches? Which cricket umpire has stood in the most test matches? Which cricket umpire has stood in the most test matches? Now, if you don't know, if cricket's not your thing, I'm sure you could probably name 1 or 2 cricket umpires, maybe the more celebrity ones. Just hazard a guess. Hazard a guess. If you don't know, pop something funny down. Why not? Which cricket umpire stood in the most test matches? Even if I think you're into your cricket, this is still quite a good question. Gets you thinking. Quizzes might know it. Sport quizzes might know this, but it's a decent little question, that one, or tricky little one. Question number 4. What is a perfect score in a game of 10-pin bowling? What is a perfect score in a game of 10-pin bowling? I think if you've seen a Simpsons episode as well, as a Simpsons episode geared around this score and Homer achieving that. Obviously, this was a question. The Simpsons was a question a few weeks ago, wasn't it? Or 5. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie. Very good. I might have stumped you on that umpire question, which is indeed a dismissal. Type of dismissal. I don't think I've been stumped, actually. I've been stumped, if you like, because I've been running so far down and got stumped. But I think once you're a certain amount of out of your ground, it's classed as a run out, isn't it? I think I was run out. I won't be stumped. Anyway, question 5. Oh, this is a tricky one, and I'm reading them. What is the highest score in judo awarded for a throw that places the opponent on their back with impetus, or for holding the opponent on their back for a number of seconds? Now, that's probably one you might want to read in the chat. It's quite a lengthy, word-heavy question. I'll read it again. What is the highest score in judo awarded for a throw that places the opponent on their back with impetus, or for holding their opponent on the back for a number of seconds? I think I'm not massive on my judo, but I think it's near enough for an automatic victory if you secure this particular word I'm looking for. What is the highest score awarded in judo for a throw that places the opponent on their back with impetus, or for holding the opponent on the back for a number of seconds? Obstructing the field. That's a niche one. How exactly were you given there? Well, other than obstructing the field, of course, Stephen. What if you could just enlighten us? There's a few cricket aficionados in the, I say aficionados, in the chat. Let us know how you were out, as well as obviously answering questions. That is a wheat from the chaff question, number 5. Question 6. Which variation of a household item is used in a curling match? Which variation of a household item is used in a curling match? With regards to the judo one, it's a word. It's a score, but it's a word. Question 6. Which variation of a household item is used in a curling match? What? Emily's just come downstairs with a huge, great, big grin on her face. She's done something naughty. She's done something naughty. Have you eaten more cheesecake? You've eaten all the cheesecake, haven't you? And Sprout's now here. Can you clear off back upstairs, you pair? Anyway, question number 7. A who am I question. Who am I? I am an Olympic gold... Sprout. That's not who I am. I am an Olympic gold medal winner and a father of both a Cheltenham Festival winning jockey and trainer. I am an Olympic gold medal winner and a father of both a Cheltenham Festival winning jockey and trainer. Oh. Stephen was running to make his ground, stuck his leg out to get into the crease instead of a bat. Umpire deemed that deliberately kicking away. Question number 8. I couldn't think. This is probably worded quite poorly. You'll get what I mean, but I couldn't think of a better word for this word. For this anyway, you'll see what I mean. What is the name of the thing that badminton players hit to each other? What is the name of the thing that badminton players hit to each other? I could have worded that a lot better. If any, when I'm doing my answers, if anybody can think of a better word for thing, let me know. Other than the correct answer, of course. Let me know. It does sound like a stinker, Stephen. 2 questions left, and then obviously it's the picture round answers, which I'm just opening here from young Mr. Denham. There we go. Item, object, yes. Great words. Well done. Thank you. Object, item. That badminton players hit to each other. Thing. Come on, Tom. Kill an Eve. Question 9. Another who am I? I don't know if these are good or not, but who am I? I have won 5 Olympic gold medals and was quoted before winning my last saying, I've had it. If anyone sees me near a boat again, they can shoot me. Who am I? I have won 5 Olympic gold medals and was quoted before winning my last saying, I've had it. If anyone sees me near a boat, they can shoot me. Thingy mabob. Yeah. Sporting implement. Yeah. Or whatever the answer is, really. Finally, question 10. Who play their home games at the Den? Who play their home games at the Den? Right, so that should be your sport round. Obviously, you've got your 2 multiple answer questions at the start. So I'll just give you another second to go through them. I was just weighing up whether I should do the picture answers. Do you need more time? Pop in the chat if you need a little bit more time for the first 2, or if you're ready, if we're all good to go. I could give you the picture answers and then come back. Just need a little bit more. No? No, right, we'll kick on then. No one's come back saying I need more time. Let's kick on. Right. Sport answers. Question 1. Great Britain have a fantastic history in the heptathlon. Denise Lewis, Jessica Ennis-Hill, and Katrina Johnson-Thompson all winning Olympic medals in recent time anyway. But can you name the 7 events? A point for each. 100-meter hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 meters, long jump, javelin, 800 meters. 100 meters hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200, long jump, javelin, 800. It's a great test, isn't it? It's throwing, jumping, sprinting, running. There's a bit of everything there, isn't there? That's why it's one of the hardest to win. There's always something that lets you down, like KJT, as you call her. She's a bit of a jumper, isn't she? Not really a thrower, if you like. She always lets herself down on shot put and javelin. But she's normally got enough points in the bag from all the jumping and the sprinting. But yeah, there's your 7, and I believe they're in order. I'm pretty sure, 99.9% certain that they're in order. So if you've got them, well done. Point for each. Question number 2. Famous racehorse owner Michael Owen has played for 5 teams in his senior career. Who were they? Point for each. Now, I believe, again, these are in order. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Newcastle, United, and Stoke, for whom he made 8 appearances, and 8 appearances all off the bench, scoring 1 goal. Stoke was a tricky one. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Newcastle, United, and Stoke. Point for each. Question number 3. Which cricket umpire has stood in the most test matches? Aleem Dar, standing in 132 test matches and still going. He's obviously still on the circuit. He's still doing the rounds. Granted, there's a lot more test cricket and a lot more cricket in general nowadays. So the more modern umpires are going to end up usurping the previous ones. I think he overtook Steve Buckner of the West Indies. I think he was 128. He obviously overtook him quite recently. Billy Bowden, who you might have put as an answer if you're not big into cricket, he was only about 80 or something. He was only not years old. He stood in only about 80. As I say, there's more cricket going on. So these records are going to continue to break. But it's Aleem Dar of Pakistan. You're right. It is hard to say their name, but hey, look, mid-div team. That's fine. Question 4. What is a perfect score in a game of 10-pin bowling? 300. If you get a strike on every frame, I believe they're called, you get 300. Question number 5. What is the highest score in judo awarded for a throw that places the opponent on the back with impetus or for holding the opponent on the back for a number of seconds? It's an ippon. If you perform an ippon or get your opponent in an ippon, it's pretty much an automatic victory. So yeah, ippon. Question 6. Which variation of a household item is used in a curling match? That's a broom or a brush. Broom, brush, I'll accept either or. I use it to make the ice a little bit I think it's smoother, so it travels a little bit further. Thank you. Sorry, someone's here just dropping something off for Emily. I don't think she knows. I don't know how she doesn't know, but there's a quiz on. So I'll have to send her an apology text momentarily. Question number 7. Who am I? I am the an Olympic gold medal winner and a father of both a Cheltenham Festival winning jockey and trainer. Nick Skelton. Nick Skelton is the answer we were looking for. He actually wrote quite a controversial item in the Horse and Hound on Thursday, I think it comes out, regarding the show jumping or British show jumping eventing. What's the score for? I don't know. Well done, Ian, if that's right. But I know it's a Nippon. Question number 8. What is the name of the thing, the apparatus, the projectile that badminton players hit to each other? That's a shuttlecock. They hit a shuttlecock with rackets over a net. Some good words used there. Ippon is an automatic win. I thought it was an automatic win, pretty much, isn't it? It's the highest score you can achieve. I did think it was an automatic win, but I didn't want to say too certain. But it's a higher score. I guess it's an automatic win if you get an Ippon. 100 points. There we go. 100 points for an Ippon. You've all learned something, unless you knew the answer. Who am I? Question 9. I have won 5 Olympic gold medals and was quoted before my last saying, "I've had it. If anyone ever sees me near a boat, they can shoot me." I believe he said that after his 4th gold medal, straight after. It was Sir Steve Redgrave. Steve Redgrave. He won 5 Olympic golds. I think he won a bronze as well. So I think he competed at 6 Olympics. Mixture of, was it coxless pairs and cockless fours. He won them over mainly with Matthew Pinsent, really, wasn't it? That was Cracknell, and there's another one, obviously, for him. Who was the other one? Pinsent, Redgrave, Cracknell. No point for it, but if anybody can help me out there, who was the other one in the in that foursome? And finally, question 10. Who play their home games at the Den? That's Millwall. Millwall play at the Den. So that should be out of 20. I make that. How did you get on there? How did you get on? Out of 20, I make that. I think it was Foster. Fosterster. So that's 20. That was probably the trickiest round, I would say. It's sometimes called the new Den, but I think it's now just referred to as a Den because the old Den versus the new Den. I think the new Den mantra has changed. It was a tough round, that. I feel there's a couple of stinkers, especially the Ippon one. Lots of 19s. I'm assuming, I think I know the question which caught most people out. Oh, the umpire. Fair. Okay. And obviously out of, I make that out of 60 so far. How many have you got in total? No, Tony, you love it. Good effort, everybody. Right, I will head over to the picture round. Again, as I say, it was quite sporting heavy. So your answers for the picture round, answers. Number 1 was, or is, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's technically a junior. I'll leave it up to your own conscience if you only called him Floyd Mayweather, if you want to reward yourself a point. Question number 2, Dame Kelly Holmes, or just Kelly Holmes, I would accept. Question 3, Phil the Power Taylor. We don't need his darts name, just his real name, Phil Taylor. Question number 4, Lester Piggott, the winning most Derby jockey. Derby winning most jockey. Question number 5 is Michael Jordan. Michael Air Jordan. There's a good documentary on him on Netflix at the moment. Number 6 is Michael Phelps. Number 7 is Ian Botham. Number 8 is Steffi Graf. 9, Stephen Hendry. And 10 is Ayrton Senna. So Floyd Mayweather Jr., Dame Kelly Holmes, Phil the Power Taylor, Lester Piggott, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, Ian Botham, Steffi Graf, Stephen Hendry, and Ayrton Senna. So I make that your quiz out of 70. How did you get on? Some good scores, some bad scores. How did you get on out of 70? I would say, as I kind of said at the start, I think that quiz was tough bits there, was good bits there. I think if you probably got, say, 57 or above, let's go 57 or above out of 70, because there's a couple of stinkers. 57 or above, you've done very well. Julie Britton getting bang on 57. I think if you did that, well done. Look, it's all for a bit of fun anyway. Thank you for bearing with us for nearly an hour and a half there. That's quite a lengthy quiz. I'll probably not make it that long in future. There's definitely going to be one next week, or I'll hopefully do one next week anyway. But in theory, we should be beginning to get back to a bit of normality, get back into a bit more of a routine, get back to racing. I'll start having to make entries and declarations. But look, we'll play it by ear, see how we're getting on. But as I say, probably the next 2 weeks, and then we'll take a pause and reassess where we are. But thank you very much for joining us. Obviously, they've eased lockdown a little bit. I just hope that you can stay safe as well as much as you can. I saw a lot of people out when I was out on my run, a lot of people not exercising, just out and about. Let's keep that R down. And thank you very much for joining us. Hope you've all had fun. As much fun as I've enjoyed having and talking at you and making the quiz. Gives me something to do during the week. So thank you very much. Stay safe, and we'll obviously post in the Facebook and on Twitter kind of platforms, if you like, for you to share your scores. If you do have any pictures, any videos, anything you want to improve, as you tell us to improve, just email us, let us know, and I'll speak to the owners in the week, and see you all same place, same time next week. Thank you very much for joining us.